Hello and welcome to the National Waterways Museum at Ellesmere Port. It's a Canal and River Trust property filled with history and boats and well worth a visit. But today it's also the venue for the Inland Waterways Association annual conference, where they're talking about all aspects of restoring the waterways. From that very name, I'm sure you realise this is not going to be the most picture-rich video you've ever watched, because it's largely going to be a load of people sitting in conference rooms listening to presentations. But I thought for anyone interested in the canals, it's definitely worth coming along and seeing what the people who are doing the restorations have to say. Is it worth doing? What's it all about? If the CRT can't afford the current canals, is it worth adding more to the network? Anyway, let's find out.
The Restoration Conference is about restoration societies and others coming together, share ideas, share stories, share aspirations, share knowledge and understand what's going on elsewhere in the country, learning from it and putting it all together and hopefully restoring more canals.
This conference is all about sustainable restoration, and that's a theme that we've been working on, because it is vital that all these restorations, which are in progress, wonderful things are happening, but it's important they're done well and they're done so they last well.
We're here today as part of this great conference, bringing people together to reflect on all the opportunities, where funding could come from, how we can ensure that lessons learned in one place can be shared with others, and to be generally part of a community having a very rich, constructive discussion.
And that discussion kicked off at 10 o'clock after a bit of participant mingling and a cup of tea. We all packed into the main conference room for various presentations, and in the gaps between the sessions, I grabbed delegates to interview. The obvious first question was, why are they restoring old canals?
Once our canal is in water and restored, we estimate £54 million per annum economic benefit. That's from businesses along the waterways, harbour boats, marinas, etc. Nature and biodiversity, creating a 70-mile blue-green corridor. I hardly need to go into any more detail. At the moment, most of it is muddy ditch. So we're creating 70 miles of connected habitat. Well-being, health and well-being. We reckon that once restored, will save the NHS more than £38 million every year through increased exercise and activity along our canal line. So, as CRT says, better by water, it's absolutely true. The number of people I see, I live literally beside the Kennington Avon Canal, the number of people I see walking along the towpath and just absolutely loving the peace, the tranquility and the experience. So that's what we're bringing in 70 miles. The last big one for me is we reduce flooding. So canals, a connected lake effectively, stepped through locks, has huge potential to capture excess rainwater off streets, off roofs, of whatever.
A compelling reason that people get involved is a love of nature, a love of the canal network, the river network. We know that this is a precious living cultural resource, but we also have people who join us because they want to improve their employability skills, or they might be socially isolated and they want to develop friendships and community connection. So there's so many different ways that people can get involved and feel the benefits.
They are an enormous classroom. Basically, they're an enormous, wonderful physical classroom that everybody can see, not only in terms of history and heritage, but also in terms of engineering. You can actually discover so much about sheer physics and practicalities, engineering all over the place.
I think there's a popularity for restoring just about everything, and canals attract a group of people interested in restoring the heritage of the country, putting something back into use, something that was created a couple of hundred years ago or more and can still be used, is used in many places around the country. So the attraction to create more of that and preserve it for future generations is so attractive to so many people.
I'm not actually sure how many canal restoration groups there are across the UK, but it's a lot. Some are quite small, others are undertaking colossal civil engineering projects. So I asked some delegates to give me a flavour of their current state of affairs.
I think of our 70 miles, we've got something like 6 miles in canal, in water at the moment, and our task and challenge is to fill in the gaps and connect both into the Kennet and Avon Canal at one end near Melksham, but also into the River Thames near Abingdon.
Well, we've got 2 canals, there's the Lichfield and the Hatherton Canal. Lichfield is very exciting. We've got a 2-year project just starting, which is going to link up our existing section that's in water right through to a new housing estate where the canal is semi-built, and then we'll move on from there. We're just starting that out at the moment. We've just got the final planning conditions to get through. We'll be building a new lock there, which we've got appeal for at the moment, and then we've got a lift bridge going in the summer, and there's lots of stuff going on, so by about 2 years' time that'll be in water and connected up to the existing section.
We've got 2 sections in water, one coming off from Cosgrove, which is an area we're actively working on, and then there is a short section on the edge of Buckingham called Bourton Meadow, which is more of a in water, but it's more of a conservation area where we've re-established part of the canal. We've brought back a lot of species that were lacking, very biodiverse area.
When you're trying to rebuild something that went derelict 70 or so years ago, you are inevitably going to hit problems, not least being developments on the same land since then. That makes canal restoration anything but simple.
Our biggest challenges include getting under 4 major roads: the A4, the A419, the M4 and the A34. And each of those is a very substantial engineering task. We have support from a lot of people. Our entire line is protected in planning policy, which is good. It used to be just a pencil strip, but now it's a 25-metre corridor. So we have that already protected, and so now the task is pick off little bits. We got 4 key projects. Pick off little bits that little bites. So then, as I say, we start to spearhead back and connect the canal all together.
Because of the building of the A5D dual carriageway around Milton Keynes, which was built across the canal bed, and therefore that route is blocked. We've got to divert the canal. The highways have finally agreed that they did the wrong thing, and they are going to build us a trough under the A5 where there's a spare arch where the river comes through. And they're going to fund and pay for that. But what it doesn't allow for is we're going to have to build 2 locks each side to come down from the existing canal and then back up the other side.
After a buffet lunch that saw the hungry delegates devour the food like piranhas, a surprise as Richard Parry, the soon-to-be outgoing CEO of the Canal and River Trust, had joined the event and was volunteered to take questions from the floor. Hilarity ensued.
We had the Canal and River Trust Q&A slot before.
He took it all in good spirit, even when faced with loaded questions like this.
Which work camp will you be volunteering on?
My standard answer to all these questions, I'm weighing up my options, so there you are. In that sort of slightly sort of whatever mercurial way, I will leave that answer hanging. To all those other who've kindly offered me the opportunity to join their restorations as well, the same applies. Thanks very much.
But as he was there, and given the fiscal constraints of the CRT, I had to ask how all these restorations are going to be paid for.
Well, we're very clear with the restoration societies and all the enthusiasts, which it is, I should say, fantastic to see, that we have to keep our finances very focused on our core role to care for the network that we have operating today. So whilst we work collaboratively with the restoration groups. We're very clear that they must fund the work they're doing, they must take account of whatever plans they have to interface with us. We own some of the land where they're working, in many cases we don't. So we treat them like sort of a third-party project in many ways, and work with them to ensure they do things safely. And as they look to the future, with all the wonderful ambition, if they intend to connect with our network or to extend our network, they have thought about all of the ongoing issues, all the ongoing costs that will generate, and have a plan for it. But we're very clear, restoration is great, but it's largely a matter for others to lead, to fund, and we will be part of then the process of adopting those in time, provided that all of the issues are addressed and funding has been found.
We are financially challenged. We do our best to keep our open canals open. We struggle on. We have many interests to keep going. We love canal restoration. It'd be fantastic to have more canals, but they have to be sustainable, and that's what today's message is about, making sure that we can look after them, or others can look after them, and that the resources are there to actually restore them in the first place. So yeah, it's going to be a challenge, but as long as it's thought through and funded to the right level, it is possible.
We don't know what the future's going to hold, but we're still going to restore it. It may be that we carry on and manage it in the future, who knows, but we're still going to do it. It's worth doing.
There were also 2 breakout sessions in the afternoon which covered water transfer, heritage and a Q&A. For newcomers, there is one thing you may find surprising about the canal restorations.
What people don't realise is that we're all volunteers. We have no paid staff whatsoever. We have no specific funding, so everything we do is off our own bat. Our volunteers do the work. We do get contractors in where possible, where we get the funding, but it's all volunteers. So come and help us, get in touch, and we will start you with us.
And volunteering is crucial across the entire canal network.
I'm Kate Simons and I'm National Volunteering Manager for Canal and River Trust.
It's no secret the CRT is cash-strapped, but volunteering offers great rewards and all kinds of opportunities.
It would be remiss of me not to mention our incredible volunteer lockkeepers who provide such a wonderful support to boaters and users of the waterway network. But we have all kinds of different roles. We have specialists on the water side who help us inspect our reservoir and our heritage infrastructure. We also have rangers and volunteers involved in biodiversity and ecology and environmental science. We have volunteers who support us from home, who are entirely home-based or come and support us at our attractions and hubs. We've got an incredible array of skills and expertise in our volunteer community.
When Kate mentioned some volunteering can be done remotely, I wondered if that meant the many overseas viewers of these videos might also be able to get involved if they'd like. It turns out it's quite feasible.
We have volunteers who support us with our marketing and social media. We have proofreading volunteers who can help us with our admin work, and even monitoring our mailboxes so that we get back to our customers and our volunteers as quickly as we can. I know in my team we have a tremendous group of volunteers who help us shape our guidance and policies, real expert level involvement. So whatever you'd like to do, just reach out to us and we'll find the right role for you.
Both the Inland Waterways Association and the Canal and River Trust have excellent maps listing all current and proposed canal routes in Britain. I've left some links in the video description. Thanks for watching. Cheerio.